Hello there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever it is you are watching my channel. I apologize. I've been gone for a while. Sad face. It's been a couple months, not that long, but a couple months since my last video, and I apologize. My phone broke, so I couldn't do any shorts, but Daniel is back. Say hello, Daniel.
Hey guys.
And we're going to do a video for you today, and we're going to be better about this in the winter, I promise. But I want to introduce a new addition to my family, and that is Dakota. Hi, Dakota. Dakota is my best friend's mother's dog. My best friend's mother. It's like a second mother to me, passed away, so this episode is dedicated to her because she was one of the greatest fans of this channel. She never missed an episode. She told other people she liked, she subscribed, she did everything you're supposed to do when you care about someone. So this is dedicated to Nancy Javera, who was like a mother to me, who passed away, and that's our new dog. So let's get started with today. I want to tell you about something. Daniel and I were talking on the phone before the holiday season, and we were talking about an old-timey product some of you might remember. It's called Hickory Farms. Do you remember that? You'd go to the mall, right? And you'd go, man, I want to go to that Hickory Farms kiosk and get some free sausage and cheese during the holidays. And you'd go there and you'd eat it, and it was wonderful. Well, I went to the mall here recently, and I don't know about you guys if you've noticed it, but there hasn't been a Hickory Farms, at least at my mall, for a long time. And Daniel actually looked it up. Isn't that right, Daniel?
I did.
And they're still around, but they're not as cheap as I remember they were back in the day of going to the mall. You used to be able to get one of those meat things,
Summer sausage.
Summer sausages, and you could get a cheese or two. And when you looked it up, what did one of those packages run?
Anywhere from $30 to $100.
Yeah, isn't that crazy with prices going up? And I was craving that, and I was like, what am I going to do? And then I remembered my mom has this old-timey recipe, if you will, of summer sausage. Your handwriting's terrible, so I'm going looking at this occasionally, but I hope I got everything memorized in my head. My mom has a recipe for making a sausage, summer sausage, much like that, only instead of costing you maybe $25 or $30, one of those rolls, ordering it online or from another company, you can make this at home for probably under $5 if you got meat for free or for sale. Her recipe calls to use for ground beef, and she says, though it's hard to read on her recipe, use a lower quality high fat because the fat will drip off and flavor the meat anyway. Well, I'll explain that more later. But some of you might have friends that are hunters, and you might get venison or antelope or elk ground from them as presents, especially during the holidays or when hunting season's going on. I'm one of those people, so I'm privy to getting ground venison from friends. Ground venison's great. It's a little bloody looking, but if it's treated right, it doesn't really taste any different than a regular red meat, and this is a lot healthier for you because it's completely organic. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a summer sausage today that's just like what you remember of those Hickory Farms old-timey summer sausages, but it's going to cost you hardly anything, and you're going to be surprised how easy it is to make. So my mom's recipe makes 3 loaves, and she calls for, what is this, 2 pounds. So 2 pounds of ground beef or whatever, like I said, venison, elk, antelope, whatever you can get that's economical for you that you think is good. You want to go ahead, if it's frozen, thaw it, and go ahead and get it into a bowl. This is roughly 2 pounds, just from the way the meat packer, who my friend shot this venison from, that's roughly 2 pounds. It didn't weigh it, but I can already tell. What we're going to be adding to it is a problem called Morton's Quick Salt, and that's a curing salt. It comes in a navy blue package if you buy the Morton's brand. I'm not sponsoring Morton's. I'm just saying that's what it looks like if you buy that brand. You get it at your hardware store, sometimes your grocery store, but you can definitely get it online, okay? And what you're going to want to use is, for this particular recipe, this is 3 tablespoons. Now that's this white stuff you see in here. 3 tablespoons of Morton's Quick Salt. So mostly that's what this is. You cannot substitute regular salt or kosher salt. You have to have meat curing quick salt. Then what I got in here is almost a tablespoon of whole mustard seeds. I have about a teaspoon of garlic powder. I have about a half a teaspoon of ground black pepper. And what else is I? Garlic salt, if you have that. I just used garlic powder instead. A little extra salt, about a teaspoon of that. And that's all I have. So that's the amount of seasonings. I'm going to mix it around with my Fagenbeer just to get it good. Now these mustard seeds, you can get these anywhere. They're in a finely ground or in coarse ground mustard that you might use to put on your brats, right? You can get these anywhere at the grocery store dry. But if your grocery store doesn't have that, go ahead and order them online. You should be able to get a ton for not very much money. It's an excellent flavoring agent. What gives this that great summer stock sausage flavoring are these things I've just listed in here. That weird mustard seed, believe me, it makes a difference. And then any old brand of liquid smoke. My dad personally hates this stuff. He says he can tell that it's when it's in chili or something. If that's your case, take a teeny tiny lick on your finger, see if you like it, go easy on it. If you like it a lot, like my mom and I, what we use is, what is it? Let's see, 1 teaspoon of liquid. Mom and I always go heavier. So it couldn't be pot. The only thing about this recipe is not time consuming at all. It's just that it takes a couple of steps and a couple of days. So what I'm going to do is put all those seasonings I just listed to. And by the way, I apologize. I realize that 2 of my videos on my channel don't have recipes. If I can't find them, I'm absent-minded. I just realized that the other day. Daniel told me that, and I was kind of in shock. But that happens. If you were one of those people, I apologize. Email me at natewrites@yahoo.com, and I will get you that. I think it was the rhubarb crisp and the peach crisp. I think it was peach. I think it was those 2. I apologize for that. Those were quite a while ago. Anyway, nobody asked for them in the comments, so I guess nobody's that mad. We're going to put in now the liquid smoke. Again, normally 1 teaspoon. But Mom and I like a little bit more. Dad's not going to get any of this, so too bad. And then here's a weird one. And don't ask me why, just trust the process, folks. An entire cup of water. Okay? Now, this will make it kind of spooshy and strange, as you can tell, when I'm doing this. And now, I'm not a chemist, but I'm guessing the reason why you put so much water in here is that curing salt might expand in some way. Don't hold me to this.
We'll have to look that up.
We'll have to look that up. But it believe me, it thickens up because I'll show you the final product. Another weird, quirky thing you have to do is you have to have my mom's recipe. A side here, shiny side on the outside. For some reason, and this must affect how it bakes later on. You want the shiny side out of 3 sheets of foil, about this big.
I didn't even know aluminum foil had a shiny side.
Yeah, this is the dull side. And the shinier side, like think of it as the festive side, like, ooh, pretty. That's the side you want out.
I don't know how well it's going to come out in the video because, you know.
Well, then here's a better way of looking at it. The dull side is the side that looks like you put a little bit of oil on it. It's not as shiny. How's that? That's the best way I can think of it to describe that. But using your hands, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put these foils out. And you can do this too on your counter space. And then I'm going to kind of just roughly guesstimate what a third is for each plop. Plop.
Yeah, see, that's quality food
Plop.
when it goes plop.
And it goes plop, absolutely. And then, now I don't have a food scale. You'd think I would, me having worked in the restaurant business for a decade of my life, but I don't have one. Because I never have room any of the places I live. So I just guess, and most of the time I'm pretty close. I can tell this one's a little bit bigger. Put it over with him. And then what you're going to want to do, now if you have hamburger that you're using, as opposed to this venison, it might be a little looser quality than this. It might be a little thicker. My guess is, this one needs more. My guess it's going to be a little thicker and not as loose as mine. Mine's loose because for whatever reason, ground venison has more liquid in it. I don't know why that is. Probably because it's not processed. Then what you're going to want to do is go ahead, seal it up like this. You don't have to do anything fancy here.
You're just crimping the sides?
I'm just crimping the sides, and I'm kind of trying to want it to get more cylindrical, but it won't, because when I'm filing it, or when I'm folding the foil, it'll kind of have a tendency to want to flatten it. But that's okay, because what we're going to do next is we're going to put this in the refrigerator for 24 hours. And that's where it's got to do. It's science, it's chemistry. And then once we do that, then we're going to bake it off. But I'm going to clean my hands up, and I'm going to put these in the refrigerator, and I'll come back to you in a little bit. Hello, we're back again to finish off the saga of how to do this summer sausage. Okay, so after it's been in the refrigerator for 24 hours, you want to take it out, and the first thing you want to do is turn them upside down, poke some holes, boom, 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 boom. Oops, I got a little drip on it. Then you'll want to do that to the bottom of all three, and put in, my mom puts it in a drip pan. I don't have one, but I just use this air pan for cookie baking. Something that gives you a jelly roll lip like this. So if you have anything leak out, which if you're going to do ground beef, you'll have fat if you use the higher content meat like my mom says to use. Again, I'm just doing venison, but you put the poke side down with your poke side from the fork, the 3 blows, a little water if you want to add here in the bottom of this, 1/4 cup, and then all you got to do is put it in the oven 350, bake it for 1 hour and 15 minutes, and take it out. Then what you'll want to do is pull off the old foil, throw it away, get out 3 new sheets, wrap them up again, and they'll look and smell wonderfully, but go ahead, you can't eat it yet. You got to wrap them up again, put them in with the new foil into the fridge for 2 days to cure, and it's done. And the best thing is, this is what one looks like once it's done. So this is one, it's been baked. Now, what's one thing you notice that looks different than the kind you used to get at the mall?
It doesn't have that tough, gross skin.
Yeah, it doesn't have that skin. So that's one thing nice. I didn't have my ends. I should have re-smushed my ends a little bit, but I was in a hurry. And this is ready for slicing and eating, and it is absolutely delicious. Now what you can do, this one is in his new foil, is you can, at that point, you can freeze them, and they last in your deep freeze. I think I've had them last up to 6-8 months easy. Deep freeze, it works better than your refrigerator freezer because it doesn't let air in as much. And you give these away as gifts, or hold on to them for football season or any occasion you want. As soon as your friends taste this, the slices of this summer sausage, they are going to forget all about companies that sell it, and they're going to want you to make it for gifts and holidays and birthdays. So yeah, enjoy this. I'll remember to put the doggone recipe in the video. Try this. Make it with anything you want. Cheap ground beef, venison, antelope, deer, elk, whatever you want, and enjoy a healthy version. See you later.